Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Quotes 365. Let me ask you this. Have you ever wished you could leave such a lasting impression on someone that they can't stop thinking about you, whether you're near or far? It's not about manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding the subtle dynamics of human connection and mastering your own emotional control to create something far more profound. Imagine this. Someone who once seemed indifferent to your presence now finds themselves lingering on your every word, replaying your moments together in their mind, and yearning for more. That might sound like a fantasy, but with the right approach, it's a reality that lies within your reach. You see, true attraction isn't about being the loudest voice in the room or showering someone with constant attention. It's about becoming the quiet force in their life, the one they can't quite grasp, but can't let go of either. And here's the key, folks. It starts not with them, but with you. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you master your emotions, when you control your energy and presence, you become magnetic. Not because of what you say or do, but because of how they feel in your presence. But let's face it, emotional control doesn't come naturally for most of us. Does it? When we care deeply about someone, it's tempting to lay all our cards on the table, to chase, to over-explain, and to overthink. And while those actions come from a place of vulnerability, they often lead to the exact opposite of what we desire. Instead of drawing someone closer, it can create distance, or worse, indifference. So, how do you turn the tide? How do you become the person they can't help but think about long after the conversation ends? That's what we're diving into today. We're going to uncover the Stoics' way to unstoppable attraction. How to balance closeness with mystery. How to speak to their soul. And how to leave a lasting impression that's subtle yet unforgettable. But here's the twist. This journey isn't about controlling them. It's about mastering yourself. When you cultivate emotional control, you create an energy that draws people towards you naturally. It's not about forcing a connection. It's about becoming a gravitational force in their life. Someone they're irresistibly drawn to. Think about it like this. Have you ever been captivated by someone who wasn't chasing your attention? Someone who seemed effortlessly confident and at peace with themselves? That's the kind of presence we're going to cultivate today. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to create an attraction so powerful that it feels inevitable. And it all starts with mastering the steps we'll discuss. Let's break it down. What makes someone unforgettable isn't just what you say or do, it's how you make them feel. It's about creating a space where they feel both comforted and curious, connected and intrigued. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about becoming hard to forget. Each step we'll cover today builds on the idea of emotional rhythm, the dance of connection and longing. We'll start with learning how to whisper to their soul, using subtle emotional cues that bypass words and speak directly to their core. Then, we'll explore the art of mastering the balance of distance, how to stay just close enough to build intimacy, yet distant enough to maintain intrigue. From there, we'll dive into the concept of becoming a puzzle they can't solve. Humans are naturally drawn to mystery. And when you embody this, you create an allure they can't resist. And that's just the beginning. We'll talk about planting a seed in their mind, a thought, a question, or a feeling that grows long after you're gone. But it doesn't stop there. We'll uncover how to speak the language of their heart, connecting with them on a level so personal and profound that it feels like you've known them forever. And as we move deeper, you'll learn how to leave a trace, not a trail, how to make your presence linger in their mind without ever feeling overwhelming. Finally, we'll explore how to be both their reflection and their dream, the person who understands them better than anyone else, while inspiring them to become the best version of themselves. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds amazing, but is it really possible? Folks, let me tell you, it absolutely is. These steps aren't about manipulation or pretending to be someone you're not. They're about tapping into your natural strengths, understanding the dynamics of connection, and approaching relationships with intention and clarity. Here's the promise I'll make to you. By the end of this video, you won't just understand how to create this kind of attraction. You'll feel empowered to apply these steps in a way that aligns with your values and enhances every relationship in your life. So, stick with me, folks. This journey isn't just about them. It's about you. It's about stepping into your power, cultivating emotional resilience, and becoming the person who doesn't just attract others, but inspires them. The steps we're about to cover could change the way you approach relationships forever, and I can't wait to share them with you. Number 1. Whisper to their soul. Let's dive into one of the most powerful ways to create an unshakable connection. Folks, learning how to whisper to their soul. This isn't about words spoken aloud. It's about resonance. When you master the art of connecting to someone on a deep emotional level, you create a lasting impact. It's what makes someone think about you even when you're not there, wondering why your presence lingers in their thoughts. At the heart of this concept is a simple truth. People want to feel seen, heard, and understood. Most interactions in daily life are surface level, but when you take the time to truly notice someone, to connect beyond the obvious, you become unforgettable. Whispering to their soul is about reaching the parts of them that few others even try to touch. Start with presence. In a world filled with distractions, your full attention is a rare and valuable gift. When you're with someone, put away your phone, maintain eye contact, and focus entirely on them. Listen not just to their words, but to the emotions behind them. Pay attention to the details, their tone of voice, their expressions, and the little things they mention. When they feel your attention, they'll begin to associate that sense of validation and importance with you. Next, tune into their unspoken needs. Every person carries hidden desires, fears, and insecurities. They might not openly share these, but if you observe closely, you can pick up on them. Maybe they crave recognition, long for acceptance, or need a sense of security. When you meet these needs in subtle, meaningful ways, it leaves a lasting impression. For example, if they seem hesitant to open up, show understanding through your actions. Nod, mirror their energy, or simply create a safe, non-judgmental space for them. Let's talk about the energy you bring into a connection. Confidence and calmness create an irresistible pull. You don't need to be loud or overbearing to be captivating. Instead, let your presence speak for itself. Carry yourself with a quiet strength that invites curiosity. Your energy should make them feel at ease yet intrigued, creating a space where they feel drawn toward you. Shared vulnerability is another key to whispering to their soul. Opening up about your own experiences, fears, or aspirations in a thoughtful way creates a bridge between you. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing or seeking sympathy. It's about showing your authentic self and inviting them to do the same. When this exchange happens naturally, it fosters trust and a deeper connection. The Stoics have much to teach us here. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." The act of listening, when done intentionally, can be transformative. By listening deeply, you show them that their words and their emotions matter. This doesn't just create a connection, It builds respect and admiration. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you're with someone you want to connect with, ask them a meaningful question that goes beyond the surface. Something like, "What's a dream you've always wanted to pursue but haven't yet?" Then, listen, not to respond, but to understand. The more they feel understood by you, the stronger the emotional tie becomes. Another subtle but powerful approach is to create a sense of shared mystery. When you leave room for curiosity, whether it's by holding back slightly in your own storytelling or simply by being a little less predictable, you give them a reason to keep thinking about you. This isn't about being aloof. It's about balancing openness with intrigue. Finally, remember that whispering to their soul isn't manipulation. It's about authenticity. By being fully present, offering genuine kindness, and connecting on a deeper level, you create a bond that stands the test of time. It's not about trying to be someone you're not. It's about showing them the best version of who you truly are. Comment below, "I connect deeply." If this resonates with you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more strategies to strengthen your relationships and empower yourself. Next, we'll dive into the subtle yet powerful art of balancing closeness and distance in a way that keeps them captivated. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going, folks. Number 2, master the balance of distance, folks. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked yet powerful elements of any relationship: mastering the balance of distance. Have you ever noticed that too much closeness can feel suffocating, while too much distance can cause disconnection? True connection lies in finding the perfect middle ground, a space where intrigue thrives and attraction grows. When you master the balance of distance, you create a dynamic that keeps them leaning in, wondering, and craving your presence. It's not about playing games. It's about creating a natural rhythm of connection that feels effortless, yet magnetic. Let's dive into how you can make this work. First, understand that distance doesn't mean disinterest. It's about giving yourself and the other person room to breathe, think, and feel. When you're constantly present, always texting, calling, or showing up, it can unintentionally overwhelm them. On the flip side, pulling back entirely can make them feel neglected or unsure of your feelings. The goal is to strike a balance that keeps both your connection and independence intact. Start by examining the current rhythm of your interactions. Are you always the one initiating? Do you constantly adjust your schedule to fit theirs? If so, it's time to create a little space. This doesn't mean disappearing or ignoring them. It means stepping back just enough to allow them to take the lead occasionally. When they notice your slight absence, it creates a sense of curiosity and longing, reminding them of what your presence brings to their life. Here's where Stoic principles come into play. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By pulling back slightly, you give them the space to color their thoughts with your presence. Instead of filling every moment with words or actions, let silence and anticipation do the talking. When you step back intentionally, you allow them to reflect on your value and feel the weight of your absence. Let's talk about creating purposeful distance. This could be as simple as taking longer to reply to a text, not always being immediately available for calls, or spending time focusing on your own hobbies and passions. The key here is to be authentic. You're not pulling away to manipulate them. You're doing it to honor your own boundaries and needs. This creates a dynamic where they begin to lean forward, wondering what you're up to and missing the moments they shared with you. Another important part of balancing distance is showing up with intention. When you do reconnect, make it meaningful. Share a genuine moment of vulnerability or have a heartfelt conversation that reminds them why they value your presence. The combination of absence and meaningful reconnection creates a push and pull dynamic that keeps the relationship exciting and engaging. Think of this as a dance. When you step closer, make it count. Show them your warmth, your attention, and your care in a way that feels genuine and rare. Then, take a step back, not out of coldness, but to give them room to feel your impact. This rhythm of closeness and distance creates emotional highs and gentle longings that deepen your connection. Here's a practical exercise to help you master this balance. Take note of how much time and energy you're investing in your interactions. If it feels unbalanced, consciously adjust. For instance, if you're always the one texting first, give them a chance to initiate. If you're spending most of your free time with them, carve out time for yourself. Whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time with friends, or simply enjoying your own company. This shift isn't about pushing them away. It's about creating a space where they can reach toward you. Remember, folks, balance is key. Too much distance, and they might feel you're slipping away. Too much closeness, and they might take your presence for granted. But when you find that sweet spot, you create a connection that feels both secure and endlessly intriguing. Let's wrap this up with a thought. Your presence is a gift. By mastering the balance of distance, you show them that your energy is valuable, not something to be taken for granted. This balance keeps the connection alive, ensuring they're always leaning in, wanting more. Comment below, "I'm mastering balance." Share this affirmation and remind yourself that you have the power to create harmony in your connections. If this resonated with you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more ways to empower your relationships and yourself. Next up, we'll explore how to become the puzzle they can't solve, a mystery so captivating they won't be able to look away. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going, folks. Step 3. Become the mystery they can't resist. All right, folks. Let's talk about one of the most captivating dynamics you can create in any relationship. Becoming the mystery they can't resist. You see, humans are wired to be drawn to what they don't fully understand. That hint of the unknown, the layers left unexplored, it sparks curiosity, and curiosity is the foundation of attraction. When you embody this mystery, you don't just capture their attention, you keep it. Think about it for a second. Have you ever found yourself intrigued by someone because they didn't give everything away? Their subtle unpredictability, their layers that unfolded slowly, it pulled you in, right? That's what being the mystery is all about. It's not about hiding who you are, it's about revealing yourself in a way that leaves them wanting to know more. Let's start with layering your personality. People are naturally drawn to those who have depth, who are more than what meets the eye. This doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. It means owning every part of who you are and sharing those pieces intentionally. Maybe you're passionate about something unusual, or you have a unique perspective on a topic. These are the things that make you fascinating. Share them gradually, like unveiling pages of a book, letting them discover your story, one chapter at a time. Next, let's talk about intentional mystery. This isn't about withholding for the sake of playing games. It's about leaving space for curiosity. For example, when someone asks you a personal question, you don't have to spill your entire life story in one go. Share enough to create a connection, but leave a little for them to wonder about. This sense of curiosity keeps their thoughts circling back to you. Be unpredictable in meaningful ways. This doesn't mean being erratic or confusing. It means adding a touch of spontaneity to your interactions. Surprise them with a thoughtful gesture or bring a fresh perspective into a conversation. When your actions are a little unexpected, it keeps things exciting and adds to your allure. They'll find themselves looking forward to what you'll say or do next. Here's where Stoicism gives us a powerful edge. Marcus Aurelius said, What we do now echoes in eternity. In relationships, this means your presence and actions should leave an impression that lingers. The way you carry yourself, the energy you bring, and even the pauses in your conversations, all of it contributes to the emotional impression you leave behind. When they can't quite figure you out, they'll spend more time thinking about you. Show, don't tell. Let your actions reveal who you are. For example, instead of telling someone you're creative, let them see it in the way you solve problems or express yourself. Instead of saying you're thoughtful, let your kindness speak through the little things you do. Actions resonate deeper than words, and they'll find themselves drawn to the qualities you quietly embody. Let's add another layer. Create moments of reflection. After an interaction, leave them with something to think about. It could be a thoughtful question, a unique insight, or just the way you made them feel. When you leave them reflecting on your conversations, you live in their mind, even when you're not around. Here's a quick exercise to try. Write down 3 things about yourself that you find unique or intriguing. These could be passions, habits, or perspectives that make you stand out. Now think about how you can subtly share these in your interactions, naturally, without over-explaining or forcing it. The goal is to pique their curiosity while staying true to yourself. Finally, remember that being the mystery isn't about creating confusion or distance. It's about balancing openness with intrigue. When you approach this with authenticity and intention, you create a dynamic that's endlessly engaging and deeply meaningful. Comment below, "I am unforgettable." Let's remind ourselves of the power of being both open and intriguing. And folks, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss insights like this. Next up, we're talking about planting seeds of connection in their mind, tiny moments that grow into lasting thoughts. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going. Folks, Step 4. Plant seeds of connection in their mind. All right, folks, let's talk about one of the most subtle yet powerful ways to make someone think about you even when you're not around. Planting seeds of connection in their mind. This isn't about manipulation or overthinking. It's about creating moments that linger. Moments they can't help but replay in their thoughts. You see, relationships aren't just built in the big gestures. Often, it's the small, meaningful interactions that leave the deepest impression. When you plant seeds of connection, you're creating tiny sparks, thoughts, feelings, and questions that grow and thrive in their mind long after the interaction ends. Let's explore how to do this authentically and effectively. Start with meaningful words. A thoughtful comment or a unique perspective has the power to stay with someone for much longer than you'd expect. Instead of sticking to surface-level conversations, ask questions or share ideas that make them pause and reflect. For example, instead of asking, "How was your day?" try something like, "What's one thing that made you feel inspired today?" Questions like this invite them to think more deeply and connect those thoughts with you. Here's a tip. Leave them with a thought-provoking statement. For instance, if they share a personal story, respond with something that shows you're truly listening, like, "That says so much about your strength and resilience." These moments make them feel seen and valued, and they'll naturally associate those positive feelings with you. Another way to plant seeds is through shared experiences. Whether it's a memorable conversation, a shared laugh, or even a moment of silence that feels meaningful, these experiences act as anchors in their mind. The next time they encounter something that reminds them of that moment, they'll think of you. For instance, if you talk about a favorite book, movie, or place, they're likely to recall that connection when they come across it again. Let's talk about emotional resonance. Humans are wired to remember feelings more than facts. When you make someone feel understood, appreciated, or inspired, those emotions stick with them. The key is to be genuine. Don't force a reaction. Instead, focus on being present and creating a space where they can share openly. The more authentic the connection, the more powerful the impression. Here's where Stoicism offers us some wisdom. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This applies perfectly here. Your calm and thoughtful responses to what they share can leave a lasting mark. For example, if they're venting about a bad day, instead of trying to fix it, offer quiet support. That sounds tough. I admire how you're handling it. These small affirmations create a sense of emotional safety and connection. Another key to planting seeds of connection is being intentional with your actions. Little gestures, like remembering a detail they shared weeks ago, or sending them a message about something that reminded you of them, can leave a big impact. These actions show that you're not just listening, you're paying attention and valuing the connection. Let's bring in a practical exercise. Think of someone you'd like to build a stronger connection with. What's one small, meaningful gesture you can make that shows you care? Maybe it's sharing an article related to a topic they love, or simply sending a message to check in. The goal isn't to impress them. It's to show that you're invested in the relationship in a way that feels genuine and thoughtful. Now, a word of caution. Planting seeds isn't about being overly strategic or calculating. It's about creating moments of authenticity that naturally deepen your connection. If it starts to feel forced or one-sided, take a step back. True connection is a two-way street, and the best seeds grow in mutual respect and understanding. When you plant these seeds, folks, you're not just leaving them with memories. You're creating a presence in their life that feels irreplaceable. They'll find themselves thinking of you at unexpected moments, wondering about the conversations you had, and looking forward to the next one. Comment below. I create meaningful moments. Share this affirmation as a reminder of your ability to leave a lasting impression. And folks, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more ways to strengthen your connections and grow into the best version of yourself. Next up, we'll dive into the art of speaking the language of their heart, connecting with them on a level so personal they'll feel like you truly understand them. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going, folks. Step 5. Speak the language of their heart. All right, folks, let's move on to one of the most profound ways to connect with someone, speaking the language of their heart. This step is all about understanding what truly moves them, what resonates on a deeper level, and how you can align your actions and words to create a connection that feels authentic and personal. Think of it this way. Every person has their own emotional language. For some, it's words of affirmation. For others, it might be quality time, acts of service, or physical gestures. When you tap into what matters most to them, you're not just communicating, you're connecting in a way that feels deeply meaningful. Let's explore how to do this effectively. Start by observing. The key to understanding someone's emotional language is to pay attention to how they express themselves and what they respond to most. Do they light up when you compliment them? Do they value small, thoughtful gestures like remembering their favorite drink or checking in after a tough day? These clues tell you what matters to them, and when you speak to these needs, it makes them feel truly seen. Once you've identified their emotional language, reflect it back to them. For example, if they thrive on words of affirmation, don't just stop at compliments. Make them specific and genuine. Instead of saying, "You're great," try something like, "I really admire how you stay so calm under pressure. It's inspiring." When your words align with their values, it creates a sense of emotional resonance. Here's where Stoicism gives us a valuable insight, folks. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, Do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Authenticity is key. Speaking the language of their heart isn't about flattery or saying what you think they want to hear. It's about being sincere in your words and actions. People can sense when something is genuine, and that's what creates trust and connection. Listening is just as important as speaking. When someone shares their feelings, listen without interrupting or trying to fix things immediately. Often, people aren't looking for solutions. They're looking for understanding. Reflect their emotions back to them by saying something like, "That sounds really challenging. I can see how much it means to you." These small moments of empathy go a long way in making them feel valued. Another way to speak their language is through meaningful actions. Words are powerful, but when paired with actions, they become unforgettable. For example, if they've mentioned feeling stressed about work, surprise them with something thoughtful, a note of encouragement, or even a small act of kindness that shows you care. These gestures, no matter how small, communicate that you're paying attention and that their feelings matter to you. Let's add a practical exercise. Folks, think about someone important to you. What have they shared about their passions, struggles, or values? What's one thing you could do today to show that you've been listening? Maybe it's sending them a thoughtful message or offering support in a way that aligns with their needs. These small steps create a big impact. Now, a quick reminder. Speaking the language of their heart isn't about changing who you are or bending over backward to meet their every need. It's about being intentional and aligning your words and actions with what makes the connection meaningful for both of you. Balance is key. Your feelings and boundaries matter too. When you master this step, you create a bond that feels natural and deep. They'll feel drawn to you, not because of what you say or do, but because of how you make them feel. That's the power of understanding and speaking their emotional language. Comment below. I connect deeply. Let's affirm our commitment to building meaningful relationships through understanding. And folks, if this resonated with you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to uncover about creating lasting, powerful connections. Next, we'll explore the art of leaving a trace in their life without leaving a trail. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going, folks. Step 6. Leave a trace, not a trail. All right, folks. Let's talk about the art of leaving a trace, not a trail. When it comes to building attraction and connection, it's not about being constantly present or overexposed. It's about leaving just enough of yourself behind to stay in their thoughts. A trace is subtle, intriguing, and memorable, while a trail can feel overwhelming and predictable. Subtlety is key. Think about it. When someone is too available or overly persistent, it often diminishes the sense of intrigue. But when you leave subtle reminders of your presence, small, meaningful gestures or moments, they start to wonder about you, think about you, and even miss you. The magic is in being memorable without being overbearing. Let's start with creating moments that linger. These could be a thought-provoking comment in a conversation, a shared laugh that becomes an inside joke, or even a small gesture that makes them feel special. For example, remembering a little detail they mentioned and casually bringing it up later shows you're attentive without trying too hard. These moments act like breadcrumbs that keep them engaged, wanting more. Another way to leave a trace is through meaningful absence. Sometimes, stepping back slightly creates the space for them to notice your impact. When you're always present, your value can fade into the background. But when you create small gaps, whether it's taking time for yourself, responding a bit slower, or being a little less available, you allow them to feel the void where your presence used to be. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about maintaining balance and showing that your time and attention are valuable. Here's where Stoicism offers wisdom. Epictetus said, "Silence is safer than speech." Silence, or moments of withdrawal, can be powerful when used intentionally. It gives them time to reflect on your presence and creates a sense of longing that words or constant attention simply can't achieve. Now, let's talk about leaving a personal touch. This could be something as simple as recommending a song, book, or movie that resonates with their interests. When they engage with it later, they'll naturally associate it with you. It's a subtle way to keep your presence alive in their thoughts without requiring constant interaction. A practical exercise for you. Folks, think of one small, meaningful gesture you could make for someone that reflects their personality or interests. Maybe it's sending a thoughtful message about something they care about, or mentioning a memory you both shared. Whatever it is, let it be genuine and leave just enough to spark their curiosity. Finally, remember that leaving a trace is about creating intrigue and connection, not confusion or manipulation. The goal is to remain authentic while letting your presence linger in a way that feels natural and engaging. When you master this balance, you become someone they think about, not because you demand their attention, but because you naturally hold a place in their mind. That's the power of leaving a trace. Comment below, "I leave an impression." Let's affirm our ability to stay memorable and meaningful. And folks, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more ways to deepen your connections and step into your power. Next up, we'll explore how to be both their reflection and their dream. Someone who inspires and understands them like no one else. You don't want to miss this. Let's keep going, folks. Step 7. Be their reflection and their dream. All right, folks. We've reached the final and most transformative step, becoming both their reflection and their dream. This step is about embodying a connection so profound that they see parts of themselves in you, while also feeling inspired by the vision of what you represent in their life. It's a balance between familiarity and aspiration, creating a bond that feels both comforting and exciting. Start with reflection. People are naturally drawn to those who understand them. When you mirror their values, interests, and emotional needs, it creates a sense of familiarity. This doesn't mean copying them or losing yourself. It's about aligning with what truly matters to them. For instance, if they're passionate about growth, share your own journey of self-improvement. If they value kindness, let your actions reflect compassion. When they see parts of themselves in you, it deepens the connection and makes them feel understood. Next, let's explore being their dream. While reflection creates a sense of comfort, being their dream ignites inspiration. This is about embodying qualities they admire and aspire to have in their life. Maybe it's your confidence, your resilience, or the way you carry yourself with purpose. When you show them what's possible, whether it's through your passions, achievements, or mindset, you become someone they look up to, not just someone they connect with. Here's where Stoic wisdom plays a crucial role. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This step is about embodying your best self. Not for them, but for you. The more you align with your values and live authentically, the more naturally you'll inspire them. Let's talk about balancing these two elements. Reflection without aspiration can feel stagnant, while aspiration without reflection can feel out of reach. The key is to integrate both. Show them you understand where they are, while also inviting them to grow alongside you. For example, if they share a goal or dream, encourage and support them, but also share your own journey toward growth. This creates a dynamic where you're both partners and motivators for one another. A practical way to achieve this balance is through shared vulnerability and vision. Open up about your own challenges and aspirations while encouraging them to do the same. This could be as simple as saying, I've been working on this lately. It's been tough, but it's something I really care about. What's something you've been focusing on? These conversations create a space for mutual understanding and growth. Lastly, remember that this step isn't about perfection. It's about authenticity. You don't have to be flawless to be someone's dream. In fact, it's your willingness to embrace both your strengths and your imperfections that makes you relatable and inspiring. When they see your determination to grow, they'll feel motivated to do the same. By becoming both their reflection and their dream, you create a connection that feels grounded yet aspirational. They'll see you as someone who truly understands them while also inspiring them to be the best version of themselves. This duality is what makes the bond unbreakable. Take this thought with you. Folks, I inspire and connect. Reflect on how you can embody these qualities in your interactions. As this is the final step, let's wrap up this journey together. You've learned how to whisper to their soul, balance distance, and become the mystery they can't resist. Now, you know how to leave a trace, speak their heart's language, and finally, inspire them to dream while reflecting their essence. This is where the transformation begins, not just for them, but for you. Carry these steps forward, and you'll find yourself creating connections that are meaningful, lasting, and powerful. Folks, we've covered so much today. How to connect deeply, inspire, and create a lasting impression that's impossible to ignore. Remember, the power lies within you. When you master these steps, you're not just building connections, you're building yourself into someone truly unforgettable. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community here at Stoic Relationships. There's so much more to learn and grow together, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take these lessons, apply them, and watch the transformation happen. Until next time, stay strong, stay authentic, and keep growing. You've got this.